Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. In this one today, we're going to be doing another zombies video. In this one, it's going to be the worst weapon in every single COD Zombies game. Now, for this one, we're only going to be doing the Treyarch games. No XOs, no IW, nothing like that. It's only going to be the Treyarch Zombies games up until Cold War. And for this one, obviously, when we do weapons, we do have to put in some criteria. It's going to be the damage, the points, the ease of use, the accessibility, and the overall ammo. Now, with all those out of the way with, let's just jump right into it. Now, coming into our first game, World at War, this gun is not only the worst weapon when it comes to this game in specific, but probably the worst weapon when it comes to zombies in general. It's going to be the Springfield. Now, first things first, when it comes to using this weapon overall, its fire rate is incredibly slow, not really good when it comes to points. The damage is worse than your normal melee. It takes 2 shots on round 2 to the head in order to kill any single zombie, so it's not going to be useful in the later rounds. Really horrible. It is only on Verrucht, and when you do buy it off of the wall, you can't pack-a-punch it because it's not on Reese. There's no upgrade to this gun whatsoever. The only redeeming factor is that it's very accessible. You can buy it off of the wall in the starting room on Verrucht, and it only costs about 200 points. So in terms of accessibility, it is actually really good. But in terms of everything else, like damage, ammo, ease of use, it is by far the worst weapon of all time. When it comes to the ease of use of this weapon, it doesn't shoot on point and the sights are a little bit off, so you have to shoot a little bit to the left in order to land the shots, which is just dumb for any kind of weapon. The Springfield, definitely the worst when it comes to World at War, and probably the worst when it comes to zombies in general. Now, coming into our next game, we have Black Ops 1. Now, with Black Ops 1, the worst gun by far is going to be the China Lake. Now, with this weapon, it's good in some scenarios. In Black Ops 1, you can buy PhD, and the China Lake does hit multiple targets. So, in some scenarios, it can be somewhat useful. But for the most part, nobody's really ever going to use this weapon. In terms of ease of use, it takes forever to shoot the bullet out of the chamber. It takes forever to reload. It just feels really clunky to move around with. In terms of damage, there's so many better explosive weapons and better weapons in general that you can use instead of this weapon. The China Lake isn't really too good when it comes to the overall damage. When it comes to the ammo, it's okay, but again, there are a lot better weapons in Black Ops 1 especially that come with better ammo. Overall, I would say that the China Lake is by far the worst weapon when it comes to Black Ops 1 and is up there with one of the worst weapons of all time as well. Compared to other weapons in Black Ops 1, it's like, why would you choose this explosive weapon when there's the Law that deals more damage and is going to be a little bit more reliable? Why choose this weapon for points when there's so many SMGs in Black Ops 1 that are going to be super good for points? In terms of just overall use in Black Ops 1, the China Lake serves little to none. So for that, I'm going to have to put it as the worst weapon in Black Ops 1. Now, coming in for the worst gun on Black Ops 2, we have the SMR. Now, there are a lot of bad guns on Black Ops 2, like the War Machine, for example. That is another really bad weapon when it's not Pack-a-Punch. When you do get the War Machine Pack-a-Punch, it is actually really good and can be effective to some extent. But with the SMR, it's bad when it's not Pack-a-Punched, and it's even worse when you do get it Pack-a-Punched. In terms of damage, it does little to no damage whatsoever. In terms of points, it's okay. In terms of accessibility, it's no good whatsoever. You can only get this weapon out of the box, so in terms of accessibility, it isn't really that good. When it comes to the ease of use, this is by far the #1 reason why people hate the SMR and why it's coming in as the worst gun when it comes to Black Ops 2. If you're hip firing, if you're aiming down the sights, it doesn't matter. The bullets aren't going to land on the target. They shoot all over the place, and it's just really unreliable to use this weapon. Even when you get it Pack-a-Punch, it doesn't get better. It becomes the Smiler, and then it gets the little ACOG scope with the smiling emblem for the middle when you aim down the sights, which is just a huge troll. So you know that Treyarch was trying to make this weapon really bad. They had no good intentions for this weapon putting it into zombies, because if they did, they would have carried over all of the stats from multiplayer in terms of damage, in terms of accuracy, and it would have been a lot easier. But the fact that they didn't shows that this gun was meant to and is the worst when it comes to Black Ops 2. Now, with Black Ops 3, I struggled a lot to find a weapon that is definitively the worst when it comes to this game, because there are a lot of good weapons in Black Ops 3, and the weapons that are bad aren't even really that bad. but I did have to land on the Pharaoh just because of the lack of damage, the lack of ammo overall. When it comes to the other guns in Black Ops 3, you can make a case for the SVG being the worst. You can make a case for the LCAR-9 being the worst as well. But I think the Pharaoh is by far the worst when it comes to ease of use, when it comes to damage, and when it comes to the overall ammo. I think that's the big determining factor when it comes to this weapon. The ammo isn't really that good. When it comes to the damage, it's really, really bad compared to most other guns in Black Ops 3. It just feels really weird to use this weapon in Black Ops 3 Zombies. It's really good, again, when it comes to multiplayer, but when they ported it over into Zombies, it just didn't make sense and it didn't feel right, especially when it comes to burst weapons for Zombies in general. They just don't really work that well. Again, the Pharaoh isn't really the worst weapon or even like the top 10 worst when it comes to normal Zombies, but when it comes to Black Ops 3, it's by far the worst. Again, you can make an argument that maybe the SVG could be a little bit worse, maybe some other gun in Black Ops 3 that's not really that good, but when it comes to the overall ease of use and just the way that this gun feels, I don't really like the Pharaoh whatsoever, and ignoring double pack-a-punch abilities, this is by far the worst. Now, moving into Black Ops 4, we have the Essex model as the worst gun overall. Now, this weapon is really, really bad compared to most other guns in Black Ops 4. In terms of guns in Black Ops 4, they aren't really that good to start off with, and the Essex model is just really, really bad. By far one of the worst when it just comes to Zombies in general as well. What I hate about this gun the most is how gauntlets force this weapon down your throat. If you're playing on the Voyage to Despair gauntlets, you have to use the Essex model, which does really suck. I hate it for that reason, but in terms of just normal damage, it's okay. Not better than most other weapons in Black Ops 4. When it comes to the ammo and the accessibility, those are by far the best points of this weapon. It does hold a lot of ammo, and it is really accessible. When it comes to the ease of use, this weapon does suffer a lot. Again, it does really bad when it comes to the ease of use. You move around pretty slow with this weapon, and I don't like how slow it takes to shoot bullets, and it just feels like you're not doing any damage whatsoever because of how fast it shoots. Not really good when it comes to the ease of use factor. When it comes to everything else, it's okay, but with most other guns in Black Ops 4, you're going to have a better chance of using a fully automatic rifle, or pretty much any other weapon that you can start off with is going to be better than the Essex model in Black Ops 4. So for that, I'm going to have to put it as the worst gun for this game. Now, moving into our last game, we have Cold War Zombies. Now, for Cold War Zombies, it's very similar to both Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, where I did struggle a lot to find a gun that's really, really bad for this game because of the way that the Cold War system works. If you have any weapon with gold rarity and Pack-a-Punch tier 3, it's gonna do really, really well. Now, there are some bad weapon classes like the SMGs and the AR, but I think by far the worst class and the worst weapon in that class is going to be the sniper rifles, and with the sniper rifles, the Pellington. Now, with the Pellington, again, it's not really that bad of a weapon, but when I compare it to any other weapon in Cold War Zombies, it's not really that good. I mean, in every single way, the LW3 Tundra is going to be a better option for you in terms of damage, in terms of ease of use, in terms of just using the gun overall. The LW3 is going to be better in every single way, and when it comes to using this weapon over other weapons in Cold War, doesn't really stand up to much other weapons because all the explosive weapons are going to be really useful. The Gallo, the Howler are going to be a lot more useful than using the Pellington, and when it comes to any of the fully automatic assault rifles, they're going to have a lot more ease of use. Cold War Zombies did a really good job at balancing out every single weapon and making every single weapon useful because of the way that these systems work, and like I said many times, the Pellington is by no means a bad weapon. You can actually do really, really well with it if you do get it fully upgraded to its max rarity, and to Pack-a-Punch tier 3, it can actually deal a lot of damage and can be pretty effective for the later rounds. But would I use it over any other weapon in Cold War Zombies solely due to the ease of use and just many other factors that come into play with how easy other weapons are to use and upgrade in Cold War Zombies? No. So for that, I'm gonna have to put the Pellington as the worst gun for this game. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, do all that. Leave your comments down below if you want to see me do any other type of video. Check down in the description as well if you want to see any other types of zombies videos. And yeah, I got nothing much else to say, so peace.